and welcome to another episode of the Voice of Innominion. And today, our special guest is Sai Dinesh, who has been placed in Digitap AI as a junior data scientist. Hi Dinesh, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Great, I'm great. Let me begin. Firstly, congratulations on your new job. And let's jump right to the questions. The first thing I want to know from you is I want you to tell me about your entire data science journey, starting from the minute that you decided to pursue this area till the time that you have been placed. Talk to me about this journey.
So the initiation was at the end of my engineering final year. Like we were like handed over a project for our final year submission. So that time we had a crash course of Python with machine learning. So basically that was kind of a initiation in my career of machine learning, data science, AI, ML, everything. So we had completed a crash course, and post my engineering, I got interested in this field and wanted to like know a lot or like more in this field, explore more in this field. So I took the certification in data science, and yeah, since then I have like going on. This is like the journey.
You are a student of mechanical engineering, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
I often, because I do speak to a lot of students who eventually who start out as data science trainees and eventually get placed, and one of the common concerns that I have heard from students is the transition from a non-technical to a technical field. What were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome this? Also, if you can shed a little light on the pros and cons of belonging to a non-technical field and doing this jump.
Yeah, so let me like clear one thing out. Mechanical is also a technical subject, and being a technical, I'll tell you that the thing is, this is completely like without coding, right? So yeah, initially you'll struggle a bit like while learning, because if you have interest, you can like literally get over anything. That's not a problem. But yeah, as the more time you dedicate for learning the new technologies, I don't find any difficulties in learning, because my main part is like, yeah, getting to know Python properly from scratch, and then coding and everything. Yeah, eventually it'll take time, but yeah, once you get thorough with it, everything is just like a cakewalk.
So you're saying that despite not belonging to, like not having a computer science
IT background.
background or a
Yes,
programming background, it's still possible to make a mark in the field.
yes, yes.
Now, I would want to ask you a question which is very like your placement specific, like Digitap AI specific. What was the
Yeah.
interview procedure like? What all levels did you go through, and what was the intensity of the levels? And I'm asking you this question because there are several students in the preparatory phase, and it really helps them when you listen to a fellow student talk about the interview process. So, give
Yeah,
me both how it went and what were your personal feelings.
basically more of that, the interview was kind of a technical discussion. Initially they started with basics of Python, and then little bit deep into ML, and more like what is the basic algorithms and everything. And later that, some questions of deep learning, and my job description was specific to NLP, so some questions on NLP. And yeah, and the main questions were like in the vicinity of the projects which I had been mentioned in my resume. These were some questions which they're like, this was the interview process.
How many levels did you have? Was it one level only?
No, it was 3 levels.
So the first level was a technical discussion, followed by, did
Yes.
you have any HR round?
Yeah, first was HR round, second was a technical discussion, and third was again, I forgot the name, but yeah, I had a third round. I had a third round with the director actually.
Did you feel like you were adequately prepared for all the rounds?
To be honest, yes, because I had been giving interviews from the past 3 months, so it was like a budding step towards this interview. Because the mistakes which I had committed in the previous interviews were like, I tried to overcome them, that not to like do that mistake again in this interview. So yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about the placement assistance services activities which are being done in Innomatics Research Labs. Presentation skills training, soft skills training. What activities are conducted, and how does that help you ace interviews or gain your confidence?
To be honest, I just did my internship, but during my internship phase, yeah, I was like cleared from the basics. Say I had done my my certification. So when I joined this internship was through a hackathon. So
Okay.
first we were like tested with the hackathon, and then like we joined in this. So it was kind of a revision for me. So
Okay.
from basics, when Kanav sir was teaching us from the basics of linear and logistic regressions, we were like went the intuitive behind the concepts of ML and every algorithm. Like it boosts your knowledge, and yeah, and it keeps you like up to date with all the technologies which they are discussing in the thing.
So you came across the Innomatics Research Labs hackathon post. That's how you
Yes,
found out about Innomatics.
yes,
Where did you come across this hackathon poster?
in LinkedIn.
Were you already training with some other institute before joining as an intern here?
Yes, I had just finished my training, and post training, I was like into my project phase. So yeah, I joined as an intern here in Innomatics.
My question basically is, why would you, despite having complete training, still want to find an internship position with another institute?
To be frank, my last institution in where the topics were taught were actually like they didn't go in depth of every concept. Like when I joined as an intern in Innomatics, Kanav sir had actually taken us along a journey in ML because it was not boring. And yeah, the knowledge which he parted on us, it's like completely different, because we were taught from the basics, and again we were given interesting tasks, and which in turn helped us to learn in a better way, a better and efficient manner.
I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite moments of being in an Innomatics classroom?
Like they were conducting a lot of activities. Like, to be honest, they had created like they had already conducted a hackathon. So on a regular basis they conduct a hackathon and they award prizes to the winners, and projects which they had actually like given us to work on. One was recommendation system, which was actually I didn't have any idea about that, but because of the teachings and everything which and the guidance of the Kanav sir, I didn't feel like it was difficult for me.
Because as I said before, there are many like you, and I'm sure people even also in your internship batch who are still going through the phase of preparing and appearing for interviews. I want to ask you, what tips, suggestions, or advice do you have for such students?
First thing what I'll tell you is just rate what the company is actually like. There are some companies which work on OpenCV, which is computer vision or anything. Go for your interest. Like there are a lot of paths in data science. One is ML, NLP, or CV, anything. Look into that which you have to apply. Then read the job description carefully and prepare accordingly. Because the questions will be basically within that the JD only, which they had specified in the description. So yeah, and from the basics, just brush up your basics and basics of Python and basics of ML, and yeah, that should do fine. And with the project which they had actually like mentioned in the resume, that should do.
My last question to you would be, do you have any special message or a few words to share about the entire Innomatics team?
The work which Innomatic team is actually doing is like I don't have any words to express, because the moment I joined Innomatics was like where I had actually been working on projects, which in turn helped me in completing my project and my certification in another institute, as well as gaining me more and more knowledge, which was parted by Kanav sir. So yeah, I would really thank every one of Innomatics team. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Dinesh. Those are very kind words. We also fall short of words when we, feel someone who has done extremely well. I think, needless to say, I speak for the entire Innomatics team that we are extremely proud of you, and we hope you go on to do great things. Congratulations. Thank you for giving us the time to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Innomatics Research Labs. We don't just train, we transform careers.